What is up, YouTube? Before I get into the video, let me remind you, if you like my content, hit that like and subscribe button. And also, if you feel the need to support me, hit me up on my Patreon at patreon.com/uncommonramen. I do all this in my free time, so any amount of support can help me bring more of this content to you more often. All right, let me start by saying a couple of disclaimers. First off, I know it just released, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. I will not be doing any deck techs for Spider-Man. Up to this point, I've looked over the set a couple of times, just not super excited about any of the cards. I will probably also not be doing any deck techs for Avatar: Last Airbender unless something changes in the near future. Like I said, the set just doesn't seem all that exciting and really just doesn't feel like Magic to me. So I'm sorry ahead of time for those of you who have been waiting for that. We're going to jump into Edge of Eternities, which I have not done yet. But again, another little disclaimer here. We're going to talk about my lack of faith in people's creativity, in the sense that when I first look for commanders, especially when it came to EOE, I was trying to find commanders that fell outside the common thing that their color pool does, right? So I think EOE had 13 commanders, I think maybe more if you don't count space stations and so on and so forth, which I didn't want to do. And the commanders themselves all sort of fell inside the color pool that they did. So if it was Selesnya, it was going to have something to do with +1/+1 encounters or tokens. Dimir was going to have something to do with control and so on and so forth. It just, a lot of the commanders kind of didn't feel original. They just felt like something that was a little different from what it already does. Like you could replace old commanders with these commanders and the deck wouldn't change all that much because the commanders were that sterile. So when I saw Ragost, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. It is a Boros commander that does things that Boros doesn't generally do. And so I wanted to jump on this, and in my head, I was like, oh, the commander community isn't creative enough to embrace something like this, so nobody will build this deck. And then we fast forward to today, and everyone has built this deck. And it's rather sad because I made two miscalculations. The first one being that no one would build it, and the second one being that the commander community is uncreative. And I guess I was wrong. So, without further ado, Ragost, Deft Gastronaut. It's 1 red, 1 white for a 2/2. Artifacts you control are foods in addition to their other types. You can pay 1 and tap this to sacrifice a food, and Ragost deals 3 damage to each opponent. And at the beginning of each end step, if you gained life this turn, untap Ragost. So we're going to jump into Planeswalkers first. We have Tezzeret, Cruel Captain. Next up is going to be creatures, which there should be quite a few. We'll start with Academy Manufactor. Anim Pakal, 1000th Moon. Apothecary White. Arbaz Myrrh. Astrid Peth. Crime Novelist. Foundry Inspector. Halia, Guided by Light. Illustrious Wanderglyph. Ingenious Artillerist. Junk Diver. Loyal Apprentice. Mirror Retriever. Ratchet Field Medic. Reckless Fireweaver. Sammy, Wildcat Captain. Scrap Trawler. Solemn Simulacrum. Stridehanger Automaton. Sir Ginger the Meal Ender. Togo, Goblin Weaponsmith. Treasure Nabber, and Weft Stalker Ardent. And next up is going to be Instants. Got Big Score, Boros Charm, Chaos Warp, Dispatch, Generous Gift, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares. Alright, next up is going to be Sorceries, Blasphemous Act, Savine's Reclamation, The Battle of Bywater, Vandal Blast, and Wake the Past. Alright, next is Artifacts. Arcane Signet, Basilisk Collar, Boros Signet, Caduceus, Staff of Hermes, Ichor Wellspring, Illusionist Bracers, Implement of Improvement, Lembas, Lightning Greaves, Liquimetal Torque, Mycosynth Wellspring, Nimblewright Schematic, Nuka-Cola Vending Machine, Nutrient Block, Prized Statue, Scrap Heap, Servo Schematic, Soul Ring, Sting the Glinting Dagger, Swiftfoot Boots, Talisman of Conviction, 1000-Year Elixir, and Transmutation Font. Alright, next up is going to be Enchantments. Felidar Umbra, Pia's Revolution, Sheltered by Ghosts, Skrelv's Hive, Spirit Loop, and Weapons Manufacturing. Alright, non-basic lands. Ancient Den, Arid Mesa, Battlefield Forge, Buried Ruin, Clifftop Retreat, Command Tower, Darksteel Citadel, Elegant Parlor, Fury Calm Snarl, Great Furnace, Inventor's Fair, Rugged Prairie, Rustvale Bridge, Sacred Foundry, Spectator Seating, Sunbillow Verge, and Sundown Pass. Right, next we're going to look at basics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plains. So that is the Ragost Deft Gastronaut, the Space Lobster Gourmet. A lot of the decks that have been built recently, I've noticed, try to build around these two lines of text right here. 1 tap, sacrifice food. Ragost deals 3 damage to each opponent at the beginning of each end step if you gain life. Untap Ragost. So I'm still trying to do the whole untapping Ragost thing, but I'm also trying to lean into other strategies that don't focus specifically on Ragost's ability to turn food into grenades. Partially because if Ragost gets destroyed enough times, it's going to be hard to continuously recast him, so I need to have backup strategies in there. So that's where Reckless Fireweaver, Ingenious Artillerist, cards of that caliber come in, where we're still going to get damage for putting artifacts into play, to supplement what I end up losing if I cannot cast Ragost again. That being said, Ragost only costs 2, so we should be able to continuously do it. But we needed that backup plan. Also, I had Scrap Heap in my collection, and I had ended up putting it in here. I didn't notice until 2 weeks before putting this video up that Scrap Heap had jumped from being a junk card to like $12-13. People are paying that much for a Scrap Heap. It only works well in this deck, but it does work well in this deck. So very good card. If you can get your hands on it, do it. It should be in this deck. It is very good in this deck. But yeah, this is a very aristocrat type deck in Boros, which is kind of wild. And it was super fun to build. Unfortunately, I guess everybody else in the world also thought it was super fun to build. So, joke's on me, I guess. That's all for now. Until next time, guys. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. Keep it positive. I'll remove negative comments. Until next time, bye.